we were on a real high note before this all happened, really.
Yeah.
Everyone was just doing really well. All businesses were doing excellently. We were actually in the process of, we just did not have enough staff for as many as we needed. So we were like desperately, hiring people, and then all of a sudden it just crashed.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Magdalena from True Blue was saying as well. It was going really well, and all of a sudden it just all came to a still stand. So how did it affect your hotel then, and your business and you guys? I'm guessing you have family in the UK still as well.
Yeah, so my dad's family are in the UK. So yeah, some people there, some of them there, but my mum's family, which is a larger part of our family, are in Grenada here with us as well. So they have hardware store and an estate as well. So at the moment, it seems like everyone's sort of leaning, suggesting that we put some more effort into agriculture as well. So as well as tourism, because those are our main industries, other than the university, tourism, and agriculture. With agriculture only being, I think, about 11% of the GDP, but we have such fertile land here. More can be done in that area, definitely, as well as tourism. I think that possibly everyone is thinking now, wow, tourism is just so fickle in the sense that it can just be so badly affected, and so for such a long period that I think a lot of people and a lot of businesses will think that they just want to have something a little bit more secure as well as. So I think that the balance, having a balance between other services internally, agriculture and tourism will be better. It's better not to put all our eggs in one basket.
At Calabash though, have you thought of different ways to expand, broaden your horizons? Any new innovations?
Personally or generally the hotel?
Okay.
Yeah. So at the hotel, well, at the moment we're sort of dealing with how do we operate in a post-COVID world. Really, that's the issue that we're sort of dealing with, and being more to the sort of the high-end product. It sort of means that with Grenada's disposable income being so low as low as it is right now, not in the sense that people live terrible lives. People live great, really good lifestyles on a lower income, with lower disposable income, because we have so much available to us here. But it means that we don't get very much local business. So we really are reliant on the international planes and tourists coming in. So we sort of feel like there's not a whole lot that we can do with the hotel at the moment until very late into this year. So
but I think you've already opened your restaurant, is your beach bar, haven't you?
We only opened it for last weekend, and we did well. So we're going to look at possibly opening it every other weekend or something like that. But we can't, do anything that's going to cost us any extra money than the hotel is currently costing us. With the fact that there will be 6 months when we are open until we will not have had any revenue in that time, which is a bit tough.
Yeah.
Really.
That's pretty tough, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, of course, we wanted to make sure that our staff have had some little form of income. So along the way, just give them a little something to keep going. So that's part of the reason why we opened the restaurant for the weekend. So we'll just see how the future goes.
Yeah, because obviously the airport's opening on the 1st of July, but the feedback I've been getting is that it's mixed feelings. Is it not opening now?
No. It's so the Prime Minister spoke last night,
right.
And his words were very vague, to say that we're not ready. We're not ready. We're not there yet. But we had been hearing that was going to be the case. So we knew for a few days that was going to be the case. And as far as Calabash is concerned, we'd obviously like it to start up sooner so that we can get into the swing of things before we start in October. We start we reopened in October. So yeah, it would have been nicer if it opened the beginning of July, but it's possible that it's going to be mid-August now.
Yeah. Well, I suppose health comes first, isn't it? If you
public health,
second wave everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely, it is, because you have to try your best and save as many lives as possible. We have, not that good I don't want to say it's not good. It's very adequate for Grenada right now. Our health system. It can definitely be better, but the government know that we're not first world country, and we don't have those first world facilities. So they did what they had to do to protect Grenada, and I agree that was necessary, even at our total detriment.
I was actually very impressed how quickly they locked everything down, because we were just about to leave the country just before they locked everything down. We were just about to leave Grenada. We were hoping to have got stranded in Grenada, but that didn't happen. But anyway.
When did you leave?
We left on the 18th, was it 18th of March? 17th or 18th of March. Yeah.
So that was just and the first case flew in on the 17th.
Yeah. So definitely wasn't me.
You left with it. So and then we closed on the airport, and us, we closed on the 25th.
Mm-hmm. So how would you then? So what have you been sort of planning for your staff then? Any type of training? How have you been supporting them during this period?
Well, we had part of the reason for opening the beach club is to have some training, post COVID world training, so that they're not too fresh when they get back in October full time. We will through the months of September have training, both online and physical training, here at the hotel as well for all the staff. But we keep in contact with them generally, just talking to them all the time. Communication is key. They are. All of us have just been suddenly, the rug's been pulled from underneath us very, very suddenly. So the best that we can do is just show that, we're all humans here trying to get through this together, and just, hold on until things get back to normal. I've spoken to quite a few of them. It's just not really hugely possible for them to be employed anywhere else, just because the economy is currently contracting. Although, the effects haven't been felt fully yet, but it's definitely on the way. So people are just not hiring at the moment. So they've just got to, stay home and hold on until October. So it's a big ask. We completely are aware that it's a big ask to say, it's another 3 months. Sorry about that, But it's just not feasible. It's not commercially sensible to open up before then. We don't have any bookings for August and September, because that's when we'd normally close.
Yeah.
And we couldn't just suddenly get those, because no one was booking. So it's October is just really the first available date, and everybody that we spoke to has said, that's what we probably expected. Just when we suddenly had to close it, they said, we expected that was going to be the case. So I think that, once you're just in that mindset, you just roll with it.
I think keeping in contact with staff, we're all human beings, aren't we? Just keeping in contact with each other is so important. The reassurance goes a long way.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there is a certain level of job security, because we do need those staff back. I mean, a lot of them have been with us for several hundred years, a long time. So we don't want to, and very much I feel that a lot of them have given their life to Calabash, or their working life to Calabash, being with us 20, 30 years. I would hate them to feel that in their hour of need, that we turn our backs on them. So that's why a lot of the reason why we're staying in contact. There is the government are, I'm sure you're aware, paying payroll support, which is roughly 40% of basic salary, to our full-time staff. But we've only received one payment so far. We haven't received payment for May yet, and it's nearly July actually. So those payments are a little bit delayed. But the good news is, because they're so delayed, it's likely to take them all the way up to October.
Well, okay. Yeah.
And obviously we'll contribute as well as best as we can.
And how did it work then when you had your restaurant opening, or the beach club opening for the weekend, in terms of all the new protocols of social distancing? And
I know it was sort of very rigid, but not all at the same time. I mean, we had to be inspected. Ministry of Health had to come down and make sure that we had all the markers in place, all the signs up. We have, hand washing facilities and sanitization little pumps, not pumps, but the ones you put under your hand and it just automatically comes out. So it was good. It was good. People generally tend to stay at their table, so they have to wear masks till they get to the table, and then it's normal. And then the staff just have to wear masks. So it's okay, really. It was not too strange. But yeah, it's just a case of making sure that everybody keeps washing their hands and keeping in that practice doing it. Yeah.
And in terms of the ordering, because it's interesting, when I spoke to Le Phare Bleu and True Blue, they all had different new ways of how you can read the menu without having to physically touch anything someone else has touched, and order your food. Have you got anything sort of planned going forward? Anything innovative, anything different?
Well, I do believe that, technology is going to be our friend moving forward. I love, changing everything over to paperless and all these sorts of things. So we are definitely going to look at some systems of ordering that you don't have to write on paper anymore. But for this one, just to sort of set it up quickly, you just had a QR code with the ticket. You scan it on your phone, and that was the menu. Obviously, we still have them printed just in case, disposable ones. But I don't love the whole disposable nature that COVID has brought to us, because I just think that opens up new problems. Because you're in a situation where we didn't have any of our staff wearing gloves, and the reason for that is that they'll probably not wash their hands as much, really. Mm-hmm. So all that needs to happen is you need to keep washing your hands. The gloves are not really saving you from anything. So added to that, I don't like none of us, any of us, like the throwing away of gloves every 2 minutes, and all that plastic going into the environment. So we the plan to use technology is so that we can also not have this disposable throw everything away every 2 minutes sort of culture that could easily develop, from the situation.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. Good. And then the other question I had was around your housekeeping. Congratulations on your award for Best Housekeeping 2020. Just wondered, obviously, you put a lot of effort into everything in Calabash being to a high standard, and having received this award, how are you going to push yourself even further to make sure that when you open in October, it's basically, the top quality, everyone's reassured?
Well, see, I always joke that we were germaphobes here long before. We've been ready for COVID for such a long time. And we do really clean everything to a super high standard anyway. But just to go that one step further, we are going to leave 2 days between each last check-in and the next check-out to deep clean the rooms so that they can be aired out properly. We've got misters and UV wands, and we use Ecolab hospital grade sanitizers or disinfectant or whichever one it is. But so we'll be doing like full deep cleans between each guest, and then in the public areas it's just increasing the frequency of wiping everything down. So I think we're going for every 15 minutes, which is basically having somebody just do a ring round. Just one running around and wiping things, and then of course making sure that our staff just do go and wash their hands every few minutes, just because I'm sure that we won't be touching anybody, but just never know.
It's to do with the surfaces, isn't it? If you touch a surface and someone else touches it, it's already transmitted. Okay. So every 15 minutes. Wow, that's
it's not, but it's small. They're small areas.
Yeah, it's going to keep housekeeping really busy, isn't it? They're just going to be flat out.
Exactly. That's why I said that we need the stuff. We do need the stuff, definitely, to continue when we reopen. But no, we could do it every half an hour. Maybe we will start to say, okay, that's too much. No one's touched that in the last 15 minutes. But the idea is that the areas that they're working with are relatively small, so that they can just keep on going backwards and around and around.
What about some of the other facilities that you offer? So you've got your boutique, you've got your spa, then you sort of got some of the outside areas by the beach and so on.
So that we're lucky that we've got a lot of space on the property. So we've got the hotel itself, where the suites are, is 8 acres, and the maximum number of guests we can have is really 60. So it's a lot of space that we have for just a few amount of accommodation units, really. So I think that having all that space is gonna work well for us. Open air restaurants, so we can spread out, so that's gonna work well for us. The spa is going to have half an hour between each treatment, so all the rooms will be properly wiped down, and all the equipment will be disinfected before the next person comes in. I have read that some hotels, because you do get a lot of information now, some hotels are asking for the spa staff to change uniforms in between each client, which at the moment we're not going to be doing, but if it is necessary, we will. But I just don't think it is that necessary at the moment. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I mean, by the time October gets round, it's likely that the protocols will have had to change again.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, so we'll just see. I mean, I'm hoping by October masks will not be necessary anymore, or at least there'll be possibly not a vaccine, but at least a treatment for COVID, which is we can work with that, definitely. That'll help.
Yeah, I really hope by then it's calmed down a little bit. Let's see if people are sensible and they do still keep their distance. It's all about people being sensible, I think, and listening to the advice. Make it work. Yeah.
I think that there is a certain element of because it's a new virus, we don't really know how things. We haven't got that much information, that much data on it. There's a lot of unknowns still, so everything. That's why everything's changing all the time.
Yeah. And it's obviously not been ideal that we've had this virus, this pandemic sweeping the world, and everything's just gone on lockdown. But is there any sort of silver lining? Is there anything that you guys have decided, right, well, we're just going to use this opportunity to change something, do something different, and anything positive that's come out of the situation?
I think there have been a lot of positives. I think generally people have had the opportunity to spend time with their families, and those who have lost their jobs, really unfortunately, have developed a sort of sense of gratitude for the things that they did have. So there is that. For us here, we are working more on food being grown on property as well. So we've invested in aquaponics system here. We are working on a vegetable garden as well here, and I've been involved in that as well, so it's actually been quite fun working on that. And it's been a process, because like I said, Grenada is very fertile. Where we are, it's not fertile at all. So we had these like tiny little peppers growing that about this big, so bell peppers about this big. It's ridiculous, and we really couldn't do anything with them now. So we've been amending the soil and working on that, so that we've got proper sized peppers growing now, which is great. So that's really something that we've been focusing on. Grenada's always been really known for, not Grenada, Calabash has always been really known for our food and beverage. So having things grown here that we'll be using in the hotel, and having the control of the quality of the ingredients as well, is going to be really exciting. So and we'll be focusing on even more locally sourced products, and the journey that the food has taken to get here, and focusing more on seasonality, because that's really how we should be eating. We should really be having strawberries in the winter time. You know, that's flown in from somewhere. It should be, you know, all over the world. I mean, that's you know, the big problem post COVID, and is really our big problem is climate change, and you know, flying things in just because of human excess is something that needs to be worked on globally. And the other thing that we're working on here is controlling our waste as well. So all organic waste is put back into the soil so we can get it better. So we're improving our own soil here. And then, yeah, just really watching plastic waste as well. So I think there have really been positive changes to our thought process. And then, of course, just the gratitude that we have for, you know, our staff for what they do. There was a week or two when everything was fully locked down. There was no movement in Grenada for a week. And we had to do everything in the gardens to try and make sure that plants stayed alive. So we were very understanding of the position that our gardeners have, and and just generally appreciate our staff more, and hopefully they also appreciate the hotel and work, just being at work. Something's suddenly been taken away from us all.
Yeah, definitely. So what would be the top 3 things you would want people to know about your hotel? Why come to Calabash once everything opens? Why come to Calabash?
It's very safe here. Post-COVID, we're sort of very set up for it. As I mentioned, we had this process called lockdown long beforehand. So, you know, all of the new protocols that we're reading from other people were like, yeah, we've already been doing that a long time. So when you come here, the feeling that we have is that we're prepared for it. We're set up for it naturally. Anyway, we serve breakfast in suite. No buffet breakfast here. It's all a la carte. So that's a sort of a nice way to start the day, and also a very safe way to stay the day. So hopefully, when you arrive at Calabash, you'll be able to feel like you're having a holiday as close to normal as possible, knowing that, you know, we'll be cleaning in the background, making sure that everything is safe for all of our guests. So there is that. So it's a safe environment. The food and beverage here has always been really top notch, and our teams are working to make sure that's even better, and also sustainable as well, to get that feel good factor as well. And then I would say probably even the top thing that Calabash is really about is our staff. If you looked at any of the reviews that we've gotten over the years, the top thing has really been our staff and how great they are, and they're really professional, really nice people, and they're the reason that people enjoy being at Calabash. It's all about people.
Yeah, that's true. I must attest to that. We came for one of our wedding anniversary dinners to the Rhodes restaurant, and it was fantastic. It was really it was a special evening, and even just going to the beach bar, it was always lovely. The staff were always really friendly and helpful, and encouraging you to try different things, and very knowledgeable. So yeah, I can definitely attest to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we miss them all, and we look forward to having them back here, sort of when they belong. It was a really sort of feeling of yesterday when I saw some of them, a feeling of nostalgia, and I'm just sort of wishing that we could give them more of a have them here more, but we're working on it slowly but surely. We'll get there.
So if I asked you the question, what are you looking forward to the most this year? What would that be?
Just open the hotel, that would be good.
Yeah, that's what I thought it would be.
Yes, coming here, that would be great. And then I think that everything sort of back to normal. And the reason I say that is I hope that everybody does take has used this time to really appreciate what we did have and what needs to change to make how we operate our lives more sustainable. I really think this is sort of like a lesson to us all. And I talked about a little bit about sustainability, but but really we need to be a little bit kinder to one another, and also to our environment as well, to try and make sure that it's here for a bit longer. It was terrible at just ruining everything. So I'd hate
especially when you have beautiful beaches.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful beaches, and it's it's awful to see. We don't get it on our beach, thankfully, and maybe everyone's just really neat and tidy and does everything properly in our area. But there are beaches all around the world where you just get like crisp packets and bottles washing up, and not a good situation to be in.
No.
People think more and not go back to normal, but go back to a better normal.
Yeah, a better normal.
Yeah.
So I know the Grenada Tourism Authority had launched this staycation kind of.
Yeah, Paradise at Home, I think it's called.
Paradise at Home campaign. How does that sit with you guys? Because obviously you said you were very much into, you kind of depend on people traveling into Grenada to stay with you, but could you do something with that? Is there
I think that the best possible situation for us is to get people into the restaurants, really, and we do offer discounts to locals anyway, so when we open we do have discounts to locals, so that's I think how that fits us best. Regarding the accommodation, I think that we'll keep that closed until the airport is open, at least.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. Well, thank you so much, Adele. Thank you for your time.
It's really nice to talk to you as well.
Yes, very nice. Well, we'll have to pop by next time we're in Grenada. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be this year, because we have to see when we can actually leave the country here. Everything's so volatile at the moment, who knows, but we're hoping early next year that we can make it back over. And then
I think 2021 is going to be hopefully a big year for travel, because everybody will just
want to get out.
And especially as the summer's not going too well so far, it's either really hot or really cold, so I'm sure that'll add to people wanting to travel, so hopeful for 2021. Yes,
hopeful. Oh, well, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you will be able to open on the 3rd and everything goes well with the airport opening. You don't have any further cases in Grenada. I'm really, really hoping.
Yeah, I'm sure that I'm sure we will get some cases, but I hope it just stays to a manageable level. I hate for us to have to go back to locking down again. I don't think anyone wants that.
Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you still get all your bits and pieces done.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.